if you try to make these models without scoring at all, I gave one to my brother and he was throwing it together and didn't do any scoring, and it's pretty much impossible. They'll never fold, you know, right along the lines, you never get it right. Okay, there's kind of an order of operations to do this box. First thing I'm going to do is get these folded really well. If this isn't folded down nice and flat, when I put this together, it's going to put outward pressure up here, and it'll try to separate the cab, especially if you're not using the Loctite glue. Before I started using the Loctite glue, I had little open areas there where the box was pulling on it. I don't have an example handy, but take my word for it. This model is actually an 85 one. They're even more rare around here. They're an actual Samurai in this form. I think they only came 85, maybe 86 around here. Most of the pickup trucks that you see in this province, I'm in New Brunswick, the southeast coast of Canada, most of the ones you see in backyards are SJ410s with the 1 liter, lower geared, smaller axles, 4-speed tranny. I even saw an LJ up north. I work all around the province. I think the 800cc that one was, but it was rusted all to pieces, and he spoke only French. He didn't know what the hell I was saying when I tried to ask him questions about it, and I didn't know what the heck he was saying either. But I told him as best I could that he had a sweet ride. Very rare, the LJ pickups. The only one I've ever seen, I think. I put too much glue there. When you put too much glue, it takes longer to dry, which isn't a big deal for this, what I'm doing right here, because, you know, but if I was gluing these where I have to hold it, then my mistake would be a little more costly. Just getting over a cold, why my voice is all screwed up. Okay, so that's the first step, first glue step. Let's glue this really well. As you see, it's not ready yet. Again, it's because I put too much glue. There. Now what we're going to do next is glue this tab right to here. Glue this tab right to here before we fold these down. So this tab's actually going to be getting glue below and above. So I'm going to hold that right up tight. Make sure it's square. Try to show you what I'm doing a little better. Like that. Same thing here. Yeah, stuck to my thumb. There. That's one of the harder parts. If I was using the one of the other styles of glue, this would be much more difficult. I'm not going to put as much glue. I'm actually going to even rub it with my finger a little bit. Make sure you get it on the tab too. All the way down the tab. Give that a try, see if it sticks a little faster. It's always nice when you're doing a part that you can lay down on the table flat and push with your ruler. There we go. Give it an extra squeeze. Hold tab. My glue's getting down there a little bit. That tells you how many of these I've put together when I was figuring things out. I'd like to learn AutoCAD when I get time. I'm busy right now. There's the box. Next up is probably the hardest part of all these models. Well, the hardest part of this model, and harder than any part on the other models. So what I'm going to want to do here is glue this tab and this tab and hold them up here while they dry. And you're gonna want the bottom of the frame here to line up perfectly with the bottom of the frame here. You'll notice there's a gray sliver here, I don't know, about 32nd thick. That's a little spacing between the cab and the box, and you're gonna try to hopefully run it straight and hold this at the same time. And like I said, this is pretty much the hardest part of any of these models. The only other hard part really is the spare tire. It's a little bit tricky, but not really. So, I'll pinch this top one first. And then line the frame up. sure it's straight. Pinch that. And you can see that sliver's running just about right. Flip it over. Have a look. Apply some pressure here. And here. Everything's upside down for me looking in this. Looks pretty good. If you look at the back, if you're using inferior glue, the pressure of this box opening might open this up. I had problems with that before I got this glue. And remember, I really crushed that down. That helps a lot. So everything looks great. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing. Pinch this down first. And I have a feeling my finger is stuck there. And that's right. If your finger is stuck, try not to pull straight off. Just pull down. That way it won't pull your model apart. Line the frame up, make sure it's straight. Pinch. Oh, try. I know it's hard for you guys looking upside down. I've actually got a chair on top of my table here and my camera hanging from it. There we go. There's the pickup model box completed. Everything went pretty good. See the inside in there, nice and tight. And after that, it's the very same as the other model, so I'm not going to bore you with that again. And the next video is going to be putting bumper and skid plate and spare tire on, and that it's the very same for any model, so that'll be up next.